Hey Trucker,
Yeah, Mayor.
do you like The Mummy?
Who doesn't like the mummy? Mayor, do you like the mummy?
Absolutely, I do.
Let's let's talk about how Brendan Fraser deserves so much more than he actually gets.
Let's not even talk about the movie at all and only talk about Brendan Fraser every time we talk about a Brendan Fraser movie.
He deserves it.
He does.
He, he's such a good actor, and I hate that he got blacklisted for doing a good thing.
It's not even he's not even just a good actor. He is a fantastic human being.
He's a very nice guy. Yeah.
He deserves the world. He truly does. And I mean the world has gone ahead and proven that many, many times by the public's general opinion of him. An absolutely incredible actor, an even better person, and this movie is no exception. Probably one of the few movies that, I mean, while there's obvious, you know, silliness to it now, the CGI still holds up better than modern CGI by leaps and bounds because it was made at a time when people actually cared and used some practical effects as well. I think if you can get anything from anything that we tell you, it's that there's no need to watch movies past 2008.
Everything does kind of fall apart.
Pretty much after Revenge of the Sith hit theaters, you can stop watching movies.
That's remarkably charitable.
Yes, it is. But man,
That's like
The Mummy is so good.
all of the casting choices are great. And that's not even me just, memeing on the greatness of Brendan Fraser. It's just all of the casting choices were just solid. There weren't any bad choices.
Everything from film sets, the actors, the costumes, the lighting, the directing, the writing, absolutely everything is brilliant in this movie.
And the props.
Yes.
My my goodness gracious, the props.
They what they should have done, I don't who when was this movie made? It was 1999. Who was president in 1999?
Bush. No, Clinton.
Bill Clinton, who did take presidency. You know, he saxophoned his way into office. He was the man of the people. First the man of Arkansas and then became the man of the people. If he was if he wasn't so busy doing what he did, you know, inviting interns for slumber parties in the White House,
And making them lie about it, which is what they actually went to court for.
if he had just taken 5 extra minutes to sign an executive order stating that the entire cast and crew, from the guy who ran and got coffee all the way to the guys who made the actual movie itself, were the only ones allowed to make movies for the rest of history in Hollywood, movies probably would have never fallen apart. That's how good this movie is.
Yeah, it's a solid movie, man.
All all Bill Clinton had to do was take that cast and crew and the one that made the original Star Wars and the crew that did all of the Lord of the Rings movies. If those were the only three groups that could ever make movies and even overlap from time to time, he would have become our first emperor, and everybody would have been fine with it because movies wouldn't have fallen apart and gotten awful.
You're not wrong.
We still have time, Trucker. We can get Bill back into office and ask him to sign that executive order for us.
I don't
He,
think we can, man. He's been in there twice, and that's the limit.
we got to make an exception just this once, just to get that executive order written. He can go back to playing the saxophone and eating at McDonald's afterwards. He over
I mean, yeah.
he oversaw the nation during the golden age of movies, Trucker. He had one thing that he needed to do for us. We've talked about how
And he's,
great this
yeah.
movie is, and I've got given almost zero examples, and then tried to get Bill Clinton back into office to sign an executive order for us. What happened in this movie?
Well, you've got uh Brendan Fraser's character being, like he's like the earliest film version of Nathan Drake that I can think of.
He is the perfect combination of loser and cool.
Definitely.
He's an idiot, but he does everything. Everything he does is cool. The movie kind of
Then you've
opens up
got
where this guy gets his tongue cut off and then eaten by scarab beetles, and then after that, I think the pharaoh catches his wife. Yeah, the pharaoh caught his wife sleeping with that guy, so he decided to turn him into a mummy. And then somebody got lit on fire and jumps off of a ridiculously tall bridge that never existed in Egypt.
yeah, good old what was her name? Anoxunamun.
Yeah, she caused a problem, and then she caused that same problem for
she caused a she caused a great many problems both in her own time and in the future.
yep.
And then come along some British people poking their noses and opening books and reading words they really shouldn't read.
It woke
You
up
know,
that.
when a book is literally called the Book of the Dead, the first thing you don't want to do is crack that bad boy open and read it.
Yeah, but then you don't get such epic scenes as shooting Mosins into mummies who are turning into dust.
Accurate.
So cool.
One thing that movie was not afraid of was its budget when it came to guns and explosions and all that cool stuff.
I don't even remember how it ends, other than sexy Brendan Fraser getting the woman and riding off into the sunset after getting screwed by his dorky friend that he throws a chair at in the second movie, I think. This movie was so great they made a second one that was also awesome.
Very. But then it kind of falls apart because that's how we got the Scorpion King.
Yeah, but we don't literally we're not talking about that for a reason because it's not even on our list, and The Rock, that was the start of The Rock ruining movies.
Yep,
But
very.
man, this movie. If you ever had like a phase when you were enjoying reading about ancient Egypt as a kid, man, this movie is perfect.
It's definitely up there.
We can give you no examples as to really what else happened in this movie that makes it brilliant other than the fact that you just need to watch it. You'll understand it when you see it.
Well, you don't want to talk about the absolutely massive face being in the dust
Oh,
cloud
yeah, that was
or
so
the
cool.
dust storm.
That was so awesome. And again, another example of CGI being done expertly.
And CGI that holds up
Yep.
to this day. And when it comes to the downfall of CGI, I think the easiest way to talk about it is to basically say they actually cared back then. They wanted to make it look good.
You know, there was only
Now,
one other movie that was able to replicate that in a meaningful way that The Mummy did, and that was the third Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. Or was it the second one? Whichever one, yeah, because he ends up fighting the Sandman in that movie, and they do the same stuff, and it looks incredible. And it's all thanks to movies like The Mummy.
yeah,
So, Bill, I know you're a busy guy, but I'm pretty sure you're a fan of our content. If you're listening to this, Mr. Clinton, get that executive order signed for us. Get this crew back together to start making movies.
get away from the life leech that you live with.
Step away, man. You can come back to the presidency. Get us that executive order. Give us back our movies, Bill. You were there. You know how good they were. You oversaw them as president.
You'll be known as the president that brought back the actual good Hollywood. Well, I can't even say that because you'll bring back the age of good movies. You won't forever be known as the president who
Got impeached.
made an oopsie in the Oval Office.
Well, oh man, I love this movie. I want to find out where it is and watch it again.
Well, let's see.
If you want a better deep dive into how great Brendan Fraser is, you can go watch everything Moist Critical has ever
You
done.
can you can rent it on YouTube. You can rent it on Google Play, and it's on Amazon.
How much? You know, I just want to buy the movie on Amazon. I want the physical copy.
It'd probably be much cheaper.
The Mummy. I don't want it in Blu-ray or 4K. I don't care about that. You can buy it. Wait, hold on. You can buy the entire trilogy on DVD for $7.50. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add that to my
That
cart.
is that is a great deal.
I'm adding that to my cart. That is cool. All right, we like to recommend a. I've completely botched that one. We like to recommend a band and or song at the end of these things. Uh, Trucker, you take this away.
Oh, topical.
We don't always have to be topical.
Yeah, you're right. I'll go for Teardrops by Joe Satriani.
I will
It's a really
go.
good guitar piece.
I will go for The Last Stand by Sabaton.
Very nice.
Very good indeed.